Welcome back. COVID cases have more than doubled in China as a surge of infections grips the nation, prompting authorities enforcing China's zero COVID policy to lock down more than 20 million residents this week alone. Yahoo Finance's Anjalee Khemlani has the latest for us. Anj, what is it?
That's right, Jared. We know that China has already been in sort of locking down mode since Friday. We've seen a couple of provinces and cities, specifically Jilin, of course, that we noted is locked down during the week, as well as looking at now other larger areas. Shanghai is one example. Tesla's gigafactory there on a production halt, possibly affecting more than 2,000 cars per day, as well as Volkswagen. So we're seeing that impact on the auto sector. Beijing has moved into online schooling along with Shanghai, and we also know that the Hebei province is also affected. So a lot going on. We're seeing that doubling, of course, as you mentioned, 10,000 cases since the start of March, and seeing thousands of cases per day is what the country is contending with. And this is the worst that the country has had to face since the lockdown in 2020. And the pressure to keep a zero COVID policy in place is really being put to the test right now as we see the concerns over the rise in cases and what that really means for the country moving forward. It's really being affected by what's known as the stealth Omicron variant is a key factor in that. And we're also, it's important to note, seeing not just in China, but across in Europe as well. Austria, for example, is just one of those countries right now being affected by a combination of factors. Some experts saying it's not necessarily the one variant per se, but there's a rise in cases across Europe. And experts are actually expecting that this is what we're going to potentially see affect the US for the next wave. So all eyes on both these areas right now.
And Anjalee, I know you're also tracking some news out of Pfizer.
That's right. Pfizer did apply for authorization for an additional dose in those 65 and older. So this would make it the second booster shot or a fourth dose of Pfizer-BioNTech's vaccine. We still have to wait and see what the FDA ultimately decides. But this goes into sort of the theory that the company had about needing regular or annual boosters as long specifically as the pandemic is around. We do not yet know what the FDA will ultimately decide, but at least for the most vulnerable, especially because of the quick waning of protection of these mRNA vaccines, it does seem like regular up-to-date will be necessary. So stay tuned for that.